My name is Hunter, and I'm 32 years old. This year marks the third anniversary of my marriage to the love of my life. My wife, Emily, was a junior at my company, and I fell in love with her the day she was assigned to my department. Gradually we became closer, and a year after we met, our relationship developed into dating. After 2 years of dating, we finally got married. I adored Emily. She also responded genuinely to my love, and we were enjoying a sweet, sweet married life. But it happened last year. Suddenly, without any warning, her attitude changed.
Okay, I'm off.
Whenever I spoke to her, no matter what she was doing, she used to come running to say have a nice day and give me a kiss on the cheek. But now, even when I say, Emily, I'm leaving, there's no response. What in the world is going on? Hey, don't you seem strange lately? Is something wrong? Nothing's wrong. Hey, look at me. Hey, Emily. Don't touch me. I was flustered by her sudden change. Yet, her attitude towards others hasn't changed. In the midst of these confusing days, my nephew, Nick, celebrated his 9th birthday. My parents, my sister's family, and we all had a dinner party. While enjoying the meal, suddenly Emily collapsed. Hey, Emily, what's wrong? She didn't move at all, even when I called out to her.
Mom, call an ambulance. Emily, hang in there. Emily, what's wrong? Hey, Emily.
Eventually, the ambulance arrived, and she was hastily taken to the hospital. However, she hasn't woken up even after several days. She didn't hit her head when she collapsed. Doctor, why isn't she waking up? There was no abnormality in her brain. We need to conduct more detailed examinations. Did your wife have any chronic diseases? No, nothing. She was perfectly healthy. I see. For now, let's just wait for your wife to wake up. Unable to do anything, time just passed by. Why is this happening? Confused and at a loss, Nick came into the hospital room. Uncle Hunter, how is Emily? She's still sleeping. I see. Did you come alone?
Yeah.
Usually mischievous, Nick seemed oddly hesitant. What's wrong? Well, I have a letter from Emily for you. A letter from Emily. Nick took out an envelope, hesitating whether to hand it to me or not.
Here, take this. She said you must read it alone. It's a promise, okay? You can show it to anyone else.
Understood. After I took the letter, Nick said, Emily, I'll come again, and left. Why did Nick have a letter from Emily? Though I was left with doubts, I decided to read the letter for now. What could this letter be about? Perhaps a confession of infidelity. However, what was written there was. Upon reading the letter, I immediately began to undress my wife. Confronted with a shocking truth, I was frozen, unable to move. Why didn't you tell me? Every year, the company I work for hires a number of new graduates, and about a dozen newcomers join. In my department, fresh new employees are assigned every year, and the year Emily joined, I was appointed as the mentor.
That girl is cute, isn't she? You're lucky, man. Want me to take over as mentor? Hey, that's sexual harassment. Be careful with your words. Besides, you can't just change what Director Tanner has decided, can you?
Though I said that, truth be told, she was very cute, and I fell for her at first sight. Emily, 3 years my junior, wasn't particularly a beauty, but her sparkling eyes were charming, and her smile as warm as a sunny spot was comforting. She smiled the same way at everyone, without discrimination. Her manner of speaking was elegant and refined, and her voice, like the pleasant chime of a bell, was soothing to the ears. Moreover, she had a great personality.
Sounds like a dream, right?
Everyone was enchanted by her and wanted to take care of her in some way. Emily, let me carry that box for you. Thank you, but it's okay. It's empty. Don't worry about it.
Even if you don't mind, Emily does. Sorry, Emily, for the weird scene here.
It's okay, it's fun. Emily never made anyone feel like a villain or disliked anyone. Since this was her way in all matters, everyone, old and young, men and women alike, were charmed by her. Someone said she was the angel of the workplace, and indeed, that was true. Her presence soothed everyone tired from work. Emily was not only attentive but also competent at her job. Hunter, are these documents no longer needed?
Yeah, I don't need them anymore.
Then I'll put them back, okay? Thank you. She never missed a detail and handled tasks efficiently. Emily, could you tidy up the layout of this proposal? Understood. When is the deadline? She readily agreed and always made sure to check the deadline. She would complete the work half a day before the deadline. She transformed my rugged, bland proposals by appropriately incorporating diagrams and charts, making them look appealing. Thanks to her, presentations went smoothly. Hey, Hunter, aren't you giving Emily too much work? You can say no, you know. You are not his assistant? Yes, but working on Hunter's proposals is really educational for me. There you have it.
Don't get carried away, okay? If you're overburdened, just tell me, and I'll set things straight.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Emily never made anyone feel bad. I think she's a well-rounded person. She was quick to learn when teaching her work, and once she understood, she was able to apply her knowledge. Her processing ability was high, and she was versatile in her arrangements. Above all, her creativity was outstanding. When a project that had been stagnating suddenly moved forward thanks to her, I was amazed. It's because of your good teaching. Emily said so, but I was just teaching her ordinary things. What kind of upbringing does one need to become such an incredible person? Being with her makes me feel like I'm becoming a better person myself. It's like fantastic magic. Her magic captivated even my heart. As I took care of her various needs in my role as her mentor, our distance naturally narrowed. It was natural that we started spending more time together, having lunch during meetings, and going out to check out competitors' products. After all, I had fallen for her at first sight, and the more time I spent with her, the deeper her charm became. My pure feelings eventually reached Emily, and slowly but surely, she began to notice me as well. About a year later, we happily became a couple. What did you teach Emily? Just work stuff, obviously. You're aiming for a different goal, aren't you? Jealous, are you? Our relationship quickly became known at work, but nobody criticized us. Just because we were in love didn't mean we slacked off at work. We were careful to draw a line between work and personal life. I didn't want to be seen as going soft because of romance. In fact, having a fulfilled heart and life only boosted my motivation and drove me to work harder. Having the best assistant. It made great work a certainty. When both work and private life are fulfilling, it makes a person kinder. Perhaps it's because you have more room in your heart. Scenes I hadn't noticed before started catching my eye, and when someone appeared to be in trouble, I found myself helping them unconsciously. It all came naturally. Isn't love wonderful? Hey Hunter, you've been looking really cool lately. Wasn't I always? I'll leave that without comment. No comment, huh? Hunter, when I see you, it makes me think that love is incredible. I want to experience a transformative love like yours. I've changed. You have a much nicer smile now. You're kinder, more considerate, and always smiling. The current you is incredibly handsome, thanks to Emily. I became uneasy about what image I had before, but thinking that I was in such a great love story made me feel bashfully proud. Having secured Emily, the most wonderful woman, my life began to accelerate. 2 years into our relationship, on her birthday, I made a once-in-a-lifetime proposal. Of course, she said yes. I was over the moon. To have Emily, loved and cherished by everyone, all to myself. Could there be anything more joyous? My euphoric self was brought back to earth by my colleague's warning. Don't tell me you're going to keep Emily locked up at home, Hunter. That would be a loss to society. That's right, it's a no-go. Emily is competent at work. If she wishes to continue, you shouldn't deprive her of that opportunity. Finally, even my boss Tyler chimed in. Hunter, you thinking of transferring to a regional office? Why would I? It's not good for both of you to be in the same workplace. Why should I be the one to move? It's everyone's consensus. That's ridiculous. Though I wasn't actually transferred to a regional location because of our marriage, the consensus was that it wasn't good for both of us to be in the same department, and Emily was transferred to another department. Of course, I ended up being resented by everyone. But I was happy. Our newlywed life was sweeter than cream puffs, almost melting like sugary candy. My family adored Emily and embraced her wholeheartedly. My mother was thrilled to have another daughter, and they often cooked together and went shopping. Even my usually stubborn and reticent father softened in her presence. Emily, is Hunter making any unreasonable demands? If you have any complaints, tell me right away. I'll take care of it. Take care of it. Am I a demon or what? If you make Emily cry, I won't forgive you. Aren't those supposed to be my lines? She watched our exchanges with amusement. Among the family, my nephew Nick was probably the one who took to Emily the most. Nick, approaching 9, was at a precocious age and became attached to Emily as a beloved older sister figure. Emily, I'm giving you this. What's this? A super rare card. They're really hard to get. I can't accept something so important. I'm giving it to you because it's the most important. You're going to be my wife. Nick, you want to marry me? Of course. Nick, she's my wife. You have to take good care of the person you're going to marry. Listen, Nick, listen well. Emily, let's go play over there. Whenever the family gathered, it was always a struggle for her attention. Though I was a bit jealous, it also made me happy, and I often took her to visit my family. She seemed to enjoy her relationship with my family too, visiting them even when I wasn't around. Especially with Nick, she seemed to play a lot. This is from Nick, he made it during craft time. The clay necklace was clumsy, but it was in colors and styles Emily would like. That kid really understands you, huh? Can a 9-year-old boy be such a man? It makes me a bit jealous. Never thought I'd feel jealous of my nephew. I can't afford to be complacent. She was skilled in the kitchen, efficiently whipping up meals in no time. Nutritious, well-balanced, and perfectly presented. Needless to say, they were delicious. She never cut corners, even when busy, and always kept herself neat. She never said she was tired, and never lost her smile. When you're tired, it's okay to say so. I want to support you too. Thank you, Hunter, but you know, every day is so much fun for me. I never thought I'd be this happy and content just to be with you. Me too, but you have to promise me not to push yourself too hard. Okay, I promise. People said the sweetness of newlywed life would quickly fade, but that wouldn't happen to us. I believed that, until that day. It came all of a sudden. One day, when I came home, Emily wasn't there. Usually, the rattling of keys would be met with her coming to greet me at the entrance, but not that day. Huh, isn't she home yet? But her shoes are here, and the lights are on. What happened? Emily, you're here, right? I called out, but there was no response. Could something have happened to Emily? Anxiety gripped me, and I rushed into the living room. Emily. I called her name again, but still, no reply. Could she have collapsed or something? As I panicked, thinking about the completely unusual situation, Emily walked into the living room. There you are. I got worried when you didn't respond. I spoke, but still, she didn't reply. Emily, what's wrong? Do you feel unwell? Her complexion seemed off to me. It's nothing. It's not nothing, you look pale. I instinctively reached to check her forehead for a fever, but she sharply slapped my hand away. Did you just slap my hand? I couldn't understand what was happening. This had never happened before. There's food in the fridge. Eat whatever you want. Wait, something's off with you. What's going on? Nothing's wrong. It can't be nothing. Something's definitely off. Shut up. Leave me alone. With those shouted words, she left the living room. I was left in a daze. I had never seen her raise her voice like that. Even when she was sick, she would put on a smile and say she was fine. Even during her worst times, she never forgot to thank those concerned for her. I couldn't believe she would act like this. Maybe she was feeling really bad. Everyone has their days, after all. Pushing further might just make things worse. I told myself to just watch and wait for now. But her attitude didn't change the next day or the day after that. Not only did it not change, but it got worse. Leave me alone, shut up, it's nothing. Those were the only words I heard from her. No, it would be better if she responded that much recently. She ignored me 1 out of every 3 times. This behavior was directed only at me. At work and outside, Emily was as usual. With an angelic smile, she eased those around her and handled her tasks efficiently. I watched Emily from a distance. Hey, Hunter, do you need Emily? Should I call her for you? No, it's okay. Don't worry, no one's going to make a move on Emily, you can relax. That wasn't what I was worried about. With her rarely seen smile burned into my memory, I dejectedly returned to my department. This unbearable situation continued for about a month, and then Emily started coming home late. By that time, the dinner table was dominated by grocery store deli. Eating deli food every day was tough, so I started preparing meals myself. Of course, I made enough for Emily too. Even though it wasn't particularly delicious, she always enjoyed my cooking with a smile. However, lately she hasn't even touched it. Doesn't she like what I make anymore? My heart grew increasingly troubled. Why is this happening? The day she stayed out without telling me was the last straw. I couldn't hold back any longer and confronted Emily. Where have you been? You didn't answer your phone, and you left my messages on WhatsApp unread. What's going on with you? Do you have any idea how worried I've been? Ignoring me, she tried to go to her room, but I grabbed her arm to stop her. Look at me. That hurts. Let go. I'll let go if you look at me and explain what's going on. I have nothing to talk to you about. That can't be true. Don't raise your voice. Oh, sorry. In a moment of distraction, she shook off my hand and fled. In my frustration, I blurted out something I shouldn't have. Are you cheating on me? Emily froze for a moment, then glared at me with stiff eyes before locking herself in her room. I was at a loss. Why did this happen? Why did Emily change? Had I done something to hurt her without realizing it? Since we couldn't have a conversation, there was nothing I could do. Amid these troubled days, Nick's birthday arrived. It's a day when, no matter what, the whole family gathers because Nick is our star. Normally, Emily and I would choose a gift together, but this year it seemed impossible. Just as I was wondering what to do, Emily had already prepared a gift. Sadly, she was still her usual self with everyone else but me. "Happy birthday, Nick. Here's a present from us." "Thank you. Can I open it?" "Of course." "Well, it's exactly what I wanted. Thank you, Emily." She was as adept as ever at choosing the perfect gifts, never missing the mark and always bringing out genuine smiles and gratitude. She truly had a talent for making people happy. I had no idea that Nick had wanted that item. How does she even find out these things? As our star Nick rejoiced, and my greatest support, Emily, smiled kindly, I felt a rare sense of happiness and enjoyed a moment of bliss. Her cooking was, as always, the best.
Nick, would you like some more meatloaf? Yes, please. I love your meatloaf. Thank you.
She stood up to get more servings and headed to the kitchen. Just then, there was a rattling crash. What happened? She knocked down the furniture nearby and then collapsed to the floor. No one could react in time. It was as if time had stopped. It felt like several minutes had passed, but it was probably just a few seconds.
Hey, Emily, what happened?
Emily didn't move an inch, even when I called out to her.
Mom, call an ambulance. Emily, stay with us. Emily, what's wrong? Hey, Emily.
Subsequently, she was taken by ambulance and admitted to the hospital. Days passed, and for some reason, she wouldn't wake up. "Dr. Johnson, why isn't she waking up?" There were no abnormalities in her brain. "We need to conduct more detailed tests. Did your wife have any pre-existing conditions?" "No, nothing. She's been completely healthy." "I see. For now, we just have to wait for your wife to wake up." What on earth is going on? Nothing makes sense. Are you cheating on me? Since then, we hadn't exchanged a single word. To think that might have been the last thing I said to her. Give me a break. As I was racked with worry, Nick entered the hospital room. "Hunter, how's Emily?" "She's still asleep." "I see. Did you come alone?"
Yeah.
Normally mischievous, Nick seemed oddly hesitant today. "What's wrong?" "Well, I have a letter from Emily for you." "A letter? From Emily?" He pulled out an envelope, hesitated for a while whether to hand it over, but finally seemed to resolve himself and offered it to me.
Hear this. Emily said you must read it alone. It's a promise, okay? You can show it to anyone else.
Got it. While many mysteries remained, as I took the letter, Nick said, "Emily, I'll come again," and left. Why would Nick have a letter from Emily? And why was such a letter even prepared? As my confusion tangled with questions, my anxiety deepened. For now, I decided to open the envelope and read the letter.
What?
I was immediately unsettled as I began reading. Written there was the shocking truth. Frantically, I tried to undress Emily but couldn't manage my hands properly due to my haste. As I managed to lift her hospital gown, I saw a clear surgical scar.
What's going on? Why didn't you tell me? Why keep it to yourself? Was I that unreliable?
Emily had been suffering from cervical cancer and had received a terminal diagnosis. She chose to hide this fact from me and face it alone. Emily, who had always had irregular periods, had been visiting the gynecologist regularly. During a routine checkup, the cancer was discovered. Being young, the progression was rapid, and Emily received a terminal prognosis. We didn't have children yet. Even if she overcame the cancer, it would likely be difficult for her to conceive in the future. Knowing this fact would surely devastate me, and I would do everything possible to help her. I would spend money, time, abandon my work, and do everything in my power for Emily. But she did not think this was right. If you're reading this letter, I might already be gone from this world. I had asked Nick to give you this letter if something happened to me. Something like what? I can't forget the look on his face when he asked that. I feel terrible for putting him in that position. Hey, Hunter, could you apologize on my behalf? I'm sorry for making such a weird request and for hurting him. That was how the letter began. This was Emily's will. She had left these last words in preparation for a day she knew would come, filled with her regrets and repentance.
I never imagined it would come to this. I took care of my health, managed stress, and lived each day with a smile. What went wrong? When I was told I only had a little time left, I decided to keep it a secret from you, Hunter. Because I knew if you found out, you'd devote yourself entirely to me, right? You'd try everything to cure the disease.
Of course, Emily was my treasure.
You thought of course, right? Thank you, I'm really touched. But that's exactly why I can't allow it. Because if I didn't survive, Hunter, you would live with regret forever. I don't want you to be an old man dragging along memories of me and crying. So, it's better to be hated while I'm still healthy. If you come to hate me and we end up divorcing, you'll forget about me, right? That's why I decided to become someone unpleasant, she wrote.
Her sudden change in behavior had occurred right after she received her terminal diagnosis. Her unauthorized overnight stays were for treatment and surgery on the lesions. A clear surgical scar remained on her lower abdomen. Emily, you went through all this alone. Why didn't you talk to me about it? I'm your husband.
I wanted you to be happy, Hunter. I really wanted to be the one to make you happy, but if that couldn't be, I wanted to set you free to find another path. I shouldn't bind your heart forever. So I chose to be hated. I hoped you would come to despise me, lose your affection, and naturally we would part. I wanted you to forget me, remarry, and build a new family. I wanted you to always be smiling. That's why I acted so outrageously, but you, Hunter, you never gave up on me. I guess I'm really being selfish, aren't I? Maybe I don't want to be forgotten. I'm sorry, Hunter, for hurting you, but I loved you dearly. I wanted to be with you more and more, always. Thank you for everything. Stay well. I love you from the bottom of my heart.
I cried. I sobbed uncontrollably. I cried out loud like a child. It's unfair, Emily. How am I supposed to let you go? After reading this letter, wake up. I will make sure you get better. I'll make you regret trying to leave me alone to die. So open your eyes. Don't leave me. I took Emily's hand and squeezed it tightly. Don't mess with me. Did you think I just accept this selfishness? I'm angry with you for the first time. Get ready because I'm going to yell at you. Wake up, Emily. Maybe my voice reached her, her eyelids twitched, and she slowly opened her eyes. Hunter. Yes, it's me. Do you understand? You collapsed during the meal. You've been asleep for 5 days now. You're quite the sleepyhead, aren't you, Emily? Her gaze moved to my hands. That letter. Nick brought it to me. You really are something, Emily. If you leave me, I swear I'll haunt you forever. She gave a weak but sweet smile, the same Emily as always. Emily, don't give up. If you give up, I won't forgive you. Let's find a way to beat this disease together. If we're together, we can surely find it. But Nobits, if you give up, it's game over. Isn't that your favorite saying? I won't give up. I'll travel the world if I have to cure you. Thank you, Hunter. Then, I spoke with her primary doctor, disclosed everything to our family, sought second opinions, scoured books, searched the internet, and looked for ways to treat her disease. Everyone at work helped too. People who had cancer patients in their families shared methods that might have helped with symptoms, and a junior colleague who was fluent in foreign languages helped research treatment options abroad. Among those was information about a new drug trial. Desperate for any hope, I made contact and managed to secure a spot in the trial, leading us to travel abroad. The clinical trial seemed quite tough, but Emily persevered. She dedicated herself to the treatment without a single complaint and expressed her gratitude to everyone around her. Despite the pain distorting her face, she never lost her charming smile. becoming everyone's star even in a foreign country. Hey, Emily, how are you feeling? Thanks, I'm fine. I feel like I could start running right now. That's nice to hear, but you still need to take it easy for now. He'll do the running for you. Okay, leave it to me. Her presence always brought laughter. It even seemed like it was boosting the recovery of other patients around her. Having Emily here makes me sleep so well. I hardly need any medicine. That's wonderful, but remember, you still need to take your medication. I guess so, right, Emily? Please make sure you take your medicine. Okay, if Emily says so, I'll take it. I felt proud of how much everyone loved Emily. The clinical trial lasted several months, and while the stay wasn't cheap, we had some savings, and both of our families offered donations, plus our friends and co-workers helped us manage financially. I want to use my allowance too, Nick said as he offered his money, which made us both cry. Although I couldn't accept it at first, Nick insisted. I'm worried about Emily too. I want to help her. From his hand, she took a single coin and said, "Can I make this into a pendant?" Of course. Will you wear it around your neck? Yes, I'll make it my lucky charm. From that day on, she always wore that pendant, never taking it off. Although the results weren't as expected, her condition improved somewhat, and her prognosis was significantly extended. Now back in America, we continued her treatment. Recently, after a checkup, the doctors were surprised to find that her tumor had significantly reduced in size. It's incredible, the progression has completely stopped. It's slow, but she's recovering steadily. If this continues, a full recovery might not just be a dream. Is that true? It seems the effects of the trial are gradually kicking in.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Maybe your smile is boosting your immune system too. It's not just illness begins in the mind, but maintaining a positive and bright mind is also a secret to health. The doctors were so confident in Emily's recovery, bolstered by her charming, uplifting smile. Yes, that's right, I just need to protect this smile. For her smile, I would do anything. Hunter, I feel like I could completely recover and grow old with you. Of course, that's why there was no need to keep it a secret. You're right, I should have shared it sooner. Yes, not just me, everyone would have helped you. Yes, I need to thank everyone. Getting better is the best thanks everyone could get.
Yeah, I'm going to keep fighting.
We'll fight together. Let me in on it too. What, Nick? You were here. Of course, Emily is going to be my wife, after all. Listen, Nick, I've told you many times, Emily is my. Emily, let's go eat some ice cream. Let's go. Hey. Really, don't leave me behind. Even though her condition is improving, we can't let our guard down yet. No one knows exactly what the future holds. But I believe that our future will continue on, together and forever. I'll never let Emily face anything alone again. Not only am I here for her, but there's also a large group of supporters surrounding her. In times of trouble, we'll rely on each other, help each other, and support each other. By doing so, we can overcome any difficult situation. The coin pendant that Nick gave her still sparkles on Emily's chest, swaying gently. It's a symbol of hope from everyone involved. This pendant will serve as a precious guidepost, linking us and our future together. Bro, you got fired. Kids, being as pure as they are, can sometimes have a sting in their words. This was precisely one of those moments. Hearing those words felt like a final blow, leaving me stunned. I will never forget your kindness. Were the words of gratitude she expressed to me back then just a lie? Yes, you're fired as of today. There's no place for a temp like you here. The way she said it had an implied meaning, and I timidly looked up. My name is Alex. I'm a salesman at a company that handles caregiving products. Sorry, this is sudden, but I need to go out on sales calls. They say sales is all about legwork, and indeed, every day is incredibly busy. Yet, I found this job fulfilling. But there's one person I just can't get along with. Oh, what's this? You seem awfully busy.
Keith.
This person, always sporting a condescending smile, is Keith, my supervisor. Despite having to interact with him often for work, I've always found him difficult to deal with.
So what's the rush? Where are you off to in such a hurry? I've received an urgent request from a nursing home. Really? Life must be tough for a high school grad temp like you. Well, do your best to make some money, Alex. Okay.
Keith smirks and pats my shoulder as he speaks. It's not that his words hurt, but this kind of interaction always leaves me at a loss and quietly builds up stress. True, I joined the company right after high school as a temporary employee. Most of my work involves responding to client requests and transporting products. I'm not yet entrusted with securing large new contracts or handling large-scale projects.
Oh, sorry, Alex. I called you out all of a sudden. No problem at all. Please call me anytime. Here are the items you ordered. Could you please check them? Yes, I will. Thank you. You always accommodate us so well, Alex. It really helps us out a lot. Working in caregiving is tough, isn't it? If I can be of any help, that makes me happy too.
On the other hand, I often meet with our business clients' reps, which has allowed us to establish good relationships. Being able to help people in caregiving feels fulfilling, and that's what I cherish the most. That was one day. Out of the blue, a huge, unexpected job came my way.
Hey, Alex. Yes, Keith, what's up? Come to the business meeting I'm attending soon. Wait, the meeting with the leading company in the industry?
Seeing Keith's smug smile, I was surprised.
That's right. Be thankful, Alex. I'm giving you a chance to gain some experience. Make sure the presentation materials are ready. Yes, I'll do my best.
Such opportunities are rare. Though I had to work with Keith, the chance to be involved in such a significant project excited me. I struggled with unfamiliar tasks like preparing presentation materials while keeping up with my daily duties. And finally, the day of the business meeting arrived. Good morning.
Alex, why are you still here?
Arriving a bit earlier than usual, a colleague spotted me and seemed surprised.
What do you mean? Just a while ago, Keith hopped in a taxi heading to the venue. I thought you were with him. Is that so? Sorry, thank you. I'll check it out.
I hastily called Keith. Hello. Keith, good morning. Are you already headed to the venue?
Yes, I am. You're too slow, so I left already. Sorry, but isn't it still too early to leave? To avoid being late just in case, it's only natural to move close earlier, right? This is why temps are useless.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, you won't get reimbursed for taking a separate taxi. You should take the bus, got it? Yes, I understand.
Although I didn't agree with Keith's reasoning, there was still plenty of time. I gave up and decided to take the bus to the venue as instructed. After clearing up some regular tasks at the office, I headed to the bus stop near the office to go to the venue.
Good, I still have plenty of time. I've got the presentation materials too.
While checking the time and my belongings, I waited for the bus. Then, I spotted a little girl, looking down and distressed, at the edge of my vision.
It's gone. It's gone. What should I do?
The girl was muttering to herself with a face on the verge of tears. It seemed there were no adults nearby who looked like her guardians. The other adults waiting for the bus were all pretending not to notice her. Are you okay? Unable to just ignore her, I approached the girl.
What's wrong? Are you looking for something? Yeah, I lost the wallet my mom gave me.
I see. While listening to the girl, I looked around. At first glance, there was no sign of a wallet. What should I do? I can't even get on the bus now. Are you riding the bus alone?
Yeah, my bus pass is also in the wallet. It's really important, and I lost it.
The girl was holding back tears, her eyes brimming with them. All right, I'll help you look for it. Really? Are you sure?
Of course, it's important, right? Let's find it. Yeah, thank you.
I couldn't just overlook the situation. I decided to help the girl search for her wallet. We sifted through the foliage of street trees and peeked into roadside gutters.
It's not here either.
But we couldn't find anything that looked like a wallet. As we were searching, the bus I was supposed to take pulled into the bus stop. The bus is here. I'll try to manage on my own from here, so you should catch your bus. It's fine. Another bus will come along soon. Your wallet is more important. But
don't worry. Remember, I said we'll definitely find it. Let's keep trying a little longer.
Okay. As I tried to encourage the girl, she nodded earnestly. And then, after searching for several more minutes, a little bit away from the bus stop, at the base of a hedge, I spotted a cute pink wallet lying there. Hey, could this be it? My wallet.
Great, we found it. Look, the next bus is just arriving. Shall we ride together?
Yes, thank you. Though the time for the business meeting was drawing close, I should still be able to make it just in time. I boarded the bus that had just arrived with the girl. This is bad. It looks like I'm going to be late. After parting with the girl and getting off at the bus stop near the venue, I hurriedly pulled out my phone while walking fast. Along the way, the bus got caught in traffic, causing a significant delay in my arrival. The business meeting was about to start soon. In a panic, I called Keith. Hello, Keith. It's Alex. Alex, where are you right now? The meeting is about to start. Sorry, I just arrived at the nearest bus stop. You just arrived. Why didn't you take an earlier bus? Well, I had lost something along the way, and the bus was delayed too, so it looks like I'll be about 15 minutes late.
Lost something? Bus delay? Man, you really need to keep your excuses in check.
On the other side of the phone, Keith exaggeratedly sighed. Fine, we'll proceed without you. Don't bother coming now. But what about the presentation materials? What? Did you really think I'd need materials made by a junior like you? Just head back to the office. Don't even think about coming here, got it? Wait, please, Keith, wait, Keith. He didn't wait for me to finish speaking and hung up the phone. I really messed up. I let out a heavy sigh. Clutching the bus delay certificate I had obtained just in case, I turned back the way I came, heading back to the office as instructed. Returning to the office without being able to do anything, my colleagues greeted me with surprised looks. Alex, what happened? Weren't you supposed to be at the meeting? Sorry, I made several mistakes, and Keith told me to return to the office. What happened exactly? Well, actually, just as I was about to explain, my phone in my chest pocket rang. It was Keith. I hastily answered the phone. Hello.
Alex, what have you done?
Ed.
If you had come on time, none of this would have happened. What are you going to do about this? Please, calm down, Keith. What exactly happened? What happened? We lost the deal, that's what. The contract fell through because you didn't show up. But it was you who told me to go back to the office. Don't make excuses. If you hadn't been late in the first place, this wouldn't have been necessary, right?
That is.
Forget it. I'm really disappointed in you. I'll be reporting this to the upper management. Prepare yourself for the consequences.
Yes, I'm sorry. The phone was abruptly hung up. This situation seemed to be more severe than I thought, and a feeling of unease spread through me. Alex, are you okay? Yes, I'm sorry. I apologized again as the concerned employee peered at my face. So bad. That day, as I prepared to leave, I let out yet another heavy sigh, the count of which I had lost. Afterwards, it seemed Keith had gone straight home, and I hadn't yet had a chance to face him directly. Although my colleagues tried to cheer me up by saying, "Don't worry about it too much," I still felt a heavy burden. How should I apologize tomorrow? While pondering how to apologize to Keith, I walked through the company lobby when…
At what? Why are you here?
I was surprised when the little girl I had met at the bus stop earlier called out to me and ran over.
What's going on? Why are you here?
Well, I promised to go home with my mom, so I'm waiting here. Oh, so your mom works here too? Yes, just like you. She brightly said and thanked me again. Thank you. Because of you, I was able to go to school right after.
That's good. Make sure you take care of your wallet from now on, okay?
Yes. Her smile eased my heart. Though work hadn't gone well, if I could protect this little girl's smile, then it was worth it. As we continued to talk, the girl suddenly exclaimed, having spotted something. Mom. Chelsea, sorry to keep you waiting. Wait, President Bennett. I was shocked when the girl called the approaching woman Mom. It turned out she was Ashley Bennett, the president of our company. Good evening, Miss Bennett.
Good evening. You're Alex from sales, right? Did you help my daughter?
I just helped her a little, nothing major.
Yes, I heard from her. You missed your bus to help her look for her wallet, right?
Miss Bennett said with a smile, her expression soft like a kind mother. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Why don't you thank him properly again? Yes, thank you for helping me find my wallet. The energetic girl thanked me. Her name was Chelsea. Seeing them together, it was clear she and President Bennett were very much alike. We're about to go have dinner. Alex, if you're free, why don't you join us? Are you sure that's okay? Of course. I want to thank you for helping Chelsea. Will you come with us? I really want to talk more with you. See, Chelsea is also asking. All right, I accept your kind offer. That's the spirit. I'll just bring the car around. Wait here with Chelsea. Miss Bennett playfully said as she headed to the parking lot, jingling her car keys. My mom is cool, isn't she? Yes, very cool. Chelsea said proudly, and I couldn't help but agree. Ms. Bennett brought us to a restaurant that seemed quite upscale for a young corporate employee like myself. As we entered, we were naturally shown to a nice private room.
The owner and I are acquaintances. Relax and feel free to order anything you like.
Yes, thank you. Look, the meat here is super delicious. It comes with delicious soup. Really, thank you for the recommendation. Encouraged by the familiar demeanor of Miss Bennett and Chelsea, I decided on my menu item. Alex, I really want to thank you for today. No, it was nothing, really. As Miss Bennett once again expressed her gratitude, I shook my head in denial. I truly felt that what I did wasn't worthy of such thanks. And then, reflecting on how the business deal had failed because of me, I was suddenly jolted back to reality. I then turned to Miss Bennett, who was right in front of me, to apologize. Miss Bennett, I'm so sorry about today's business deal. It fell through because I was late. Yes, I'm aware of that. I received a report from the sales department. But you know, I don't really care about that. What? Surprised, I looked up. I met Miss Bennett's kind, smiling eyes.
Most people would have prioritized the business deal, but you didn't ignore Chelsea when she was in trouble. To me, that's far more important than any business deal.
But
Oh, and I'm not saying this just because it was Chelsea who was in trouble. It's your capacity to care for others that I find most valuable. So don't worry too much about the failed deal, okay?
Thank you so much. Feeling a bit embarrassed but reassured, I thanked Miss Bennet, who was almost motherly in her demeanor. Our ordered dishes arrived. Unable to decide for myself, I ended up ordering the same dish as Chelsea. We ordered the same thing. Let's eat together.
I'm sure. Let's eat.
The tender meat with creamy soup. Feeling almost like I had become one of Miss Bennet's children myself, I blushed slightly. Noticing my reaction, Miss Bennet narrowed her eyes in amusement.
I'll make sure you get home safely tonight. You can even drink some wine. They have a great selection here. I recommend it.
No, I mean, thank you.
Alex, you're so modest. Tell me, why did you prioritize helping Chelsea over the business meeting?
Well, that's because…
Oh, sorry. If it's difficult to answer, you don't have to. I'm asking not as a president, but just as a curious mother.
Saying that, Miss Bennet gave a troubled smile. Her face was filled with compassion, and I couldn't help but see a resemblance between her and my own mother. She would understand and accept whatever I shared with her, I thought.
The truth is, I still use the wallet my father left me as a keepsake. So when I saw Chelsea had lost hers, I couldn't just pass by. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know about your father. I didn't mean to pry.
It's okay. My father passed away when I was young. Then you were raised by your mother.
Yes, I'm really grateful to her. I want to make her life easier as soon as I can. That's why I'm also grateful to you, Ms. Bennet, for giving me a chance right out of high school. Thank you so much. That's very admirable of you. I'm proud to have someone like you in my company.
She took a sip from her glass of water and smiled warmly.
Alex, I really thank you. I will never forget your kindness.
Her sincere expression of gratitude made her look truly beautiful. I was relieved to receive Miss Bennet's forgiveness regarding the failed business deal. I thought to myself that I wanted to continue working under her leadership. Despite my resolution. What's this? Why is this here? The next day, I was stunned to find a document on my desk. Termination notice. I rubbed my eyes repeatedly, reading the document over and over again. But the words written there remained unchanged. How could this be? Alex, looks like you really did get the axe. Keith? Caught off guard by the voice from behind, I turned around. There stood Keith as usual, smirking in a demeaning manner. Keith, what does this mean? It's the obvious consequence, isn't it? You blew a deal with the industry's leading company. But, to fire me so suddenly, could there be some mistake? I don't know, it's an order from above. If you have complaints, go argue with Ms. Bennet directly. Ms. Bennet, but she said yesterday. What? What about Ms. Bennet? No, it's nothing. I stopped myself mid-sentence and closed my mouth. I realized that discussing my conversation with Ms. Bennet with Keith would be pointless. Keith approached with that unpleasant grin still plastered on his face as I fell silent.
Well, with someone like you around, the company would just keep losing out. The higher-ups made the right call.
With that, Keith patted my shoulder lightly.
Take care, Alex. Clean up your desk, and then you can head out. And don't bother coming back tomorrow. Best of luck with your job hunting.
Understood. My mind couldn't grasp the sudden turn of events. All I could manage was a weak nod in response to Keith's instructions. Why did it come to this? No answer came to mind. I staggered toward the lobby. Miss Bennet, were your words yesterday a lie? The image of her kind expression haunted my thoughts. Could it be that her smile yesterday was deceitful? I didn't want to believe it. Trying to keep the rising dark emotions at bay, I struggled to control myself. That's right, I should check with Miss Bennet. It might be a misunderstanding. I wanted to believe that. Trying to calm my restless heart, I was about to head to the president's office when… Alex. Chelsea. Startled by Chelsea's call, I snapped back to reality. Waving energetically, Chelsea ran towards me. "Are you done with work for today, Alex?" Yeah. I thought so." "What do you mean by thought so?" Her remark struck me as odd. Wondering what she meant, I asked her directly.
Chelsea, do you know something?
"Yes. Mom said yesterday that you were fired." "What?" For a moment, I couldn't believe my ears. Tentatively, I asked again. "Fired? Is that what she said?" "Yes, that's right. So, you see." "Chelsea." Miss Bennet's voice echoed in the lobby, interrupting Chelsea's excited chatter. "Oh, Mom."
Now, we had a deal to go straight home today, didn't we?
"But I wanted to see Alex soon." "Oh, Chelsea." Miss Bennet." Feeling unsure and unable to see the whole picture clearly, I tentatively broached the subject with Miss Bennet. Alex, sorry about that. Chelsea has been worried about you since yesterday. It seems she came to see you." "That's okay. But, Miss Bennet, about this." As I spoke, I handed her the termination notice that had been left on my desk. "Miss Bennet, could you please explain this? I'm sorry, I just can't understand it." "Oh, this is…" Taking the termination notice from my hand, Miss Bennet tilted her head. "Well, you're terminated as of today. As a contractor, that is." "What?" Surprised by her cryptic whisper, I looked up. Her face was filled with the same compassionate smile as yesterday. "Alex." "Yes." "Sorry, this document is missing a crucial part. Here, take this. Could you read it?" This is…" I read the document handed to me by Miss Bennet. It contained unbelievable news, and I looked up at her in astonishment. "Miss Bennet." "Yes, Alex. Your contract as a temporary employee is over. From today, you're a full-time employee. You'll be transferred to a new department, working as my personal assistant." Why would someone like me? I was greatly perplexed. Being the personal assistant to Miss Bennet was a prestigious position held only by the elite within the company. Seeing me lost for words, Miss Bennet chuckled softly. "Really? Is it that surprising?"
It is surprising. To be the president's assistant, that's… Are you sure about me?
"It's you I want. Alex, you see, I'm a single mother too." "Really?" Surprised, I watched as she smiled sadly and gently pulled Chelsea closer. "When Chelsea was still in my belly, my husband passed away. I took over this company from him." "I see."
Alex, I wanted to support you. Becoming a full-time employee would allow you to give your mother more peace of mind, I thought. Was I being too meddlesome?
Not at all. Not at all." Overwhelmed by surging emotions, my heart trembled. Unable to articulate my feelings well, I simply conveyed my heartfelt thanks to Miss Bennet with great fervor. "Thank you so much, Miss Bennet. I will do my best from now on." "Good, I'm looking forward to working with you, Alex." Thus, from that day on, I began working as the personal secretary to Miss Bennet. From then on, I spent most of my days alongside Miss Bennet. "Alex, Chelsea will be coming to the lobby after school today. Could you please go home with her first?" "Yes, sure." Part of my duties as Miss Bennet's secretary seemed to include being a companion to Chelsea after she returned from school. Alex."
Chelsea, sorry for the wait. I'll be going home with you today." "Yay. Hey, tonight's dinner is curry. Mom was so excited yesterday, she made enough for you too, Alex. So let's eat dinner together today." "That sounds great. I'm looking forward to it."
While I take care of Chelsea, Ms. Bennet treats me kindly in both professional and personal aspects. It feels a bit ticklish, somewhat embarrassing, but I really like my current life. Meanwhile, an incident occurred that shook Keith's position. It seems there was an inquiry from the representatives of the major corporation about the business meeting.
We would like to hear again about Alex, who unfortunately had to miss the meeting on that day.
Alex's, you say?
Yes, we had a difficult time understanding Keith's explanation and had to decline at that time. However, after hearing about Alex's reputation from other companies, we would like to request a product presentation from him again.
It seems that the representative from our business client, with whom we've always had a good relationship, pulled some strings for us. Following that, we proceeded with the negotiations again, and impressively, we secured a contract with a major corporation. Your hard work has paid off, Alex. I'm overwhelmed, thank you. However, we need to do something about him. In the wake of this event, while Ms. Bennett's esteem for me increased, Keith faced severe consequences. His attempt to pin his inadequate presentation skills on his subordinates came to light, resulting in his demotion and subsequent transfer to a small regional branch. Some time passed, and then one day,
"Hey Alex, you're off tomorrow, right? Let's go out. So you should stay over at our place tonight."
While we were having dinner at Ms. Bennett's house as usual, Chelsea started talking about this.
"Chelsea, going out is fine, but staying over is a bit much." "Oh Alex, it's fine. There's a spare room we use as a study."
"But, Ms. Bennett, I don't even have a change of clothes." "Just wait a moment." She reassured me and went into the back room. "Alex, if you don't mind, please use this." "What is this?" I was even more bewildered when she returned and handed me something. It was a set of men's loungewear.
"It belonged to my late husband. There's some underwear too, still unopened."
"Miss Bennett." My chest tightened. Lost for words, I stood there frozen, and Miss Bennett blushed as if flustered. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. It's weird, right, to offer you such things?" "No, Miss Bennett, it's not that." I grabbed her hand trying to take back the clothes, holding it firmly. "Is it really okay for me to use these?" Chelsea's father had passed away before she was born. Chelsea is in second grade now. It's been over 8 years, and his clothes are still here. Just like the wallet that was my father's keepsake, these must be precious to Miss Bennett as a remembrance of her husband. Isn't this something important to you? Yes, it is, but I want you to use it, so, if you don't mind, could you stay tonight? Alex. Miss Bennett. Hey Mom, Alex. Startled by Chelsea's call, Miss Bennett and I quickly released the hands we had been holding.
"What is it, Chelsea?" "What's going on, Chelsea?" "When are you and Mom getting married, Alex?" "What, marriage?" "Chelsea, what are you saying?" "Oh, come on, you two are always so lovey-dovey, ignoring me." "Hey, Alex, I want a dad, and I'd like a brother or sister too. So, marry Mom and become my dad."
Well, but... Taken aback by Chelsea's sudden remark, I felt my face turning red. I glanced at Miss Bennett's face. She was also blushing, her gaze fixed on me. Miss Bennett. Yes, what is it? May I call you Ashley? Yes, you may. With her face still red, Ashley nodded slightly. Chelsea, watching us with a big smile, seemed delighted by the scene. This unexpected turn of events started a new relationship. It might not take long before I truly become part of their family.